Get your mix and master right. No, you gotta get it right. Yeah, I'm getting hot tonight. Gotta keep it. Get your mix and master
And we're
right.
live.
Hello and welcome to In Cold Storage. I am your host Fuzz, here with my co-host JB.
Yep.
And today we're going to talk about...
Clementine Barnabet.
There we go.
Yeah.
You turned the paper. I cannot remember this last name for the life of me.
I don't know why.
Yeah, Barnabet. It's Barnabet.
Yeah. But it's spelled like, it. Over the years, there's different spellings of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So.
Do we know how they spelled it?
I mean, them specifically? I don't know. I think the most common way is B-E-T.
I mean, do we have their signature on file?
No, I don't think so.
Damn. So when I hear Clementine, I don't know if this is a guy or girl. So.
Oh, Clementine's a girl.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. That sounds like a boy's name?
I mean, I just imagine it could go both ways. I wouldn't be shocked if it was like, yeah, my name's Clementine. Like, all right, cool. I never met a Clementine in my life.
Clem.
Yeah. Right? You've heard of a Clem?
I guess maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never. I guess no.
Yeah, there's a Clems out there.
Maybe.
Clint's, all them Johns. Clems hang out with Clint's. Who know Betty's.
Okay.
Facts.
I guess. No, but Clementine Barnabet was believed to be the first African American serial killer.
Okay.
Yeah, female African American serial
Okay,
killer.
because I was
say
going to
that.
ask.
Yeah,
if it was-
female.
okay.
My bad.
That's cool.
Yeah, so
Around what time period was this?
the killings happened between 1909 and 1911.
So,
well,
I mean-
1912.
So it's not like forever ago.
No,
Okay.
I mean,
When did they really start documenting serial killers?
I don't know.
Things we need to look up.
I don't know.
We'll figure it out. I'd just be interested to see that.
I mean, it couldn't have really been. It couldn't have been that early because when fucking Zodiac killers and all that shit was going on, them motherfuckers didn't have no profiles of no serial killers. People didn't really know. So
Yeah.
I think it was a newer thing where people just looked back on shit. Like, you
Okay.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they were documenting them as serial killers back in that time. But when more recent time, as people look back, they're like, oh, this person was a serial killer, and they
Well, because Albert Fish was in 1910.
yeah. But
That's before all that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is though, you also look back that people had to look back at his crimes, like, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, and
I
research.
see what you're saying. Now you're saying yeah.
Yeah,
It's all
so,
backlog. Now we're calling them
exactly.
this. I see
Yeah,
what you're
back
saying.
then
I see
they
what
were
you're saying.
just a person who committed murders, and that was it.
Hmm.
So, yeah, but
ham and eggs special guest feature for today's episode.
yeah,
Fuck Albert Fish.
Clementine Barnabet, right hand
We
man.
fuck her too.
Yeah,
Like, fuck that bitch.
yeah, fuck her.
I'm assuming she's the bitch.
I mean, she's a female.
I mean, not in that sense. Like, I'm assuming.
I don't know.
Was
what
she
you
a
mean.
nice person? Like, what do you know about
I
her?
mean, she's suspected of killing like 35 people. So
yeah, she's cool.
kids included.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well,
So I mean, yeah. If you don't know, Barnabet's killings followed a consistent pattern. It says she would often murder entire families using an axe for butchering her victims and cutting off their heads.
oh, she's an ex-murderer.
Yes,
Oh,
she's an axe
shit.
murderer. Yeah. So she's part of this whole.
That takes endurance.
Yeah. This whole axe murdering group across the country back in the day. Yeah, you can throw her.
When
in
you
there.
say group, were they traveling together? You're just talking about. That
I'm just
spree of
talking about
times
and
that axe
during an
murder,
era in
yeah,
our country
of
there were
axe
just
murder.
axe murders just happening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And she did her part.
But we need to take the guns away, right? 'Cause we can't do it any other way.
Yeah,
Just wanna point that
so
out.
yeah, she was doing her part. You know what I'm saying? I think she took credit for like 35 bodies, but said there was like more and shit like
damn.
that. So, I mean, yeah, man. It says a lot of people, and then it's crazy because
Have you ever swung an axe?
yeah, I
An
swung
axe,
an
not
axe.
a hatchet, an axe.
Yeah, I don't like them.
I
They're
don't
big.
know. I don't know if she actually was an axe murderer. You know how hard it is to swing an axe?
I mean, they had axes back in the day, also the thing was, a lot of times they were using the blunt end of the axe to smash people's brains in.
I mean, I can believe that.
So
Plus,
I mean,
it doesn't stick.
yeah, and there you go.
For anyone who's hit a pig skull with a carcass with a skull and everything in the head with an axe. I used to have a zombie response unit.
Is that what y'all were
definitely
practicing on?
I did it once. It sticks a little.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't really a whole carcass. It was just a skull. But I did it with a hatchet too. But it definitely sticks a little. Now, I'm not sure if it's different when it's a live joint, but at the same time, I mean, definitely stuck. So I could imagine that if you just wailed on the other end, you might get some bounce back. I mean, or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, you'll definitely knock it out.
I mean, well, yeah, a lot of these people
I feel
describes
like a
them
knife
specifically.
would be easier. Wouldn't it just slit their throats? Like,
I mean, I guess, but I mean, there's a lot of easier ways to kill somebody. But
well, guns.
yeah,
You know what I mean,
during this time, one person did get shot.
okay.
So I mean,
I've never heard of this person. So
A lot of people
when
haven't.
JB said who this person was, the name I can't remember.
Clementine.
Benedict Cumberbatch. When he told me about Benny Boys over here,
it's Clem Barney. Just go with that, Clem Barney.
Clem Barney.
Yeah, why not?
Clem Barney. So Clem Barney.
Clementine Barney.
I was like, who is this? What is? I didn't know if it was boy, girl, as you heard. But when he originally told me about it, because I forgot about it, he told me about it before. When he originally told me about it, I just thought he made it up. I thought it was some like stupid like creepypasta he found or something like that. And then he ends up with a bunch of articles and taking all these notes and actually trying. And I was like, holy shit, this must be real. So
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had the iPad to put my notes in order like you. I'm bouncing around, but
you have one, don't you?
we'll see how it goes. No.
No.
Well, I mean, technically I do. I have like the second iPad. It's somewhere. Yeah, that's exactly what I did with it, and I don't even know where it's at.
I feel you. I don't know where mine is either, but that's because my wife moves it.
Oh,
I
no.
leave it in the last place I had it, and then I remember, like, oh, last time I had it, I was on the couch. And
No.
she goes, it shouldn't be on the couch.
Man, I got one of them iPads that still got one of them wide chargers on the joint. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the old ass iPods and shit.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Like,
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I think it turned on. I didn't even try to plug it in no more or some shit like that. This was like years and years ago.
Yeah.
But anyway, Clemency Barney. That's what we'll call her.
Clemency?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Is that easier for you to remember?
Why Clemency?
I don't know.
Okay.
Clementine.
Just call her by her name. I'll get used to it.
Clem.
If you want to save
Clem
time.
Flem. All right. Clem was born in St. Martinville, Louisiana in 1894. And at the age of 15 in 1909, her father Raymond moved their family along with their mom Nina and her brother Zephyrin to Lafayette, Louisiana. And this right here is basically
This is when she's 15?
Yeah, she's
Okay.
15 in 1909. And this is when, like I said, he moves the family over there. And it said that he was abusive piece of shit, the dad.
Okay.
Raymond.
When we say abusive, physically, like sexually?
Yeah,
all that?
physically. I don't think sexually, but
Okay.
I think physically and you know what I'm saying, probably emotionally and
Yeah.
verbally.
If you're
and all
physically,
that.
you're already
exactly.
the emotional
So-
abuse that comes after physical abuse. It's all one.
Exactly. And it says shortly after that they moved to Lafayette, Louisiana, that it says that a murder took place where it was a murder of a woman named Edna Opelousas and 3 children whose ages were 4 through 9.
Edna's the original Karen.
Edna is the original Karen.
Yes.
What does that mean?
She was the original. I want to talk to your manager.
Oh, I
Kinda-
don't
kinda
know.
like-
This is back in the day, and mind
Yeah,
you,
I'm telling you. I'm just letting you know.
yeah, everybody in this story except like the police officer and all that, they're black.
Okay.
So all the victims are black. Everybody who's murdering people, Clement Barney, you know what I'm saying? She's black. So this is all happening to niggas. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? So yeah. So the 3 children, ages 4 through 9, basically, like I said, that happened in 1909. No, they never figured out who did that shit.
Wait, how big was the family?
It was 4 people. It was a woman and 3 kids.
So she's saying that that's hers.
Wait, what are you talking about? now?
Clementine? She's saying she killed them?
Not at first.
Okay, but she later claims it.
Sure.
Okay, so that's why I'm just asking the relevancy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So at this time, then
She's
mind
15.
you, yeah, she's 15 at
And
this
she's
time.
claiming she murdered people tonight.
I mean, not right there. She's not
No,
claiming.
but
it.
I mean later in life.
Yeah,
Okay,
later in
that's what I'm
life.
saying. They follow.
So at the time, right? Basically, this marks the first time. Like a lot of people believe, like these were the first murders and shit. But at the same time, it's not believed that. I don't know why. It's sort of like your story from last week, where different sources say different things and shit
Yeah.
like that and all
But
that.
what you're saying is that some people,
Some people connect her to this, and some people don't. Even with her saying
yeah, she
that
did it.
she did it.
I thought you were saying that they were questioning if it was her first or not because it seemed like sometimes it's like it can't be their first killing. It's
Yeah.
too clean.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
I mean-
no. This one is marked, and this it takes precedence because it's like 18 months before the actual next spree of murders, the actual
so they're
murders
trying
that
to link
going
it
on.
in.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's an
And
early
some
one.
people feel like they're just doing a shitty job as cops, and they're just putting it on her, and there's really someone else who did it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, and this
Justice.
first murder happens a couple months after they move to the new town and shit like that. So, which is why that family and her is a suspect and shit like that. But yeah, her first actual murder and shit like that, you know what I'm saying, that they really give her credit for and shit, came in 1911. And Barnabet's first victims were Walter Byers and his family, who were slaughtered in West Crawley in January of 1911. Walter, his wife, and their 6-year-old son were found butchered by an axe inside their home at 605 Western Avenue, presumably while they had been sleeping. Byers, who was reported as being an industrious and reputable colored man, had no known enemies, and as an employee of a rice mill, he was far from wealthy. Said there appeared to be no motive for the crime. The authorities were baffled, leading some to believe that the slayings were racially motivated. With little evidence to go on, the investigation was closed without any arrests being made. So, the first family.
It's good to know he was an upstanding.
Yeah, that was part of the
person.
Yeah, that was part of the thing. Like this, he was a good guy, and like I said, no known enemies. Yeah. So. Yeah, they were baffled, but like I said, it was him, his wife, and it's crazy because this source says that their son was 6 years old, but in another source I seen that their son was 3 years old.
Okay, big difference.
So,
kind of like with mine, with the kids that were taken outside.
Yeah.
Some would say they were 3 and 12, some say 3 and 3, some
exactly.
say they were both
Yeah,
10.
So I mean, ages around this time. I mean, who really knows? Because I mean, I don't even think it's known for sure that she was born in 1894. I think that's just the date that they take it in and shit like that. So, yeah. I actually have the real article from that shit. So, matter of fact, no, I don't have the real article for that one. I have the real article for the next fucking group of murders.
So she just killed a husband, wife, and a 6-year-old or 3-year-old.
Or 3-year-old, yeah. And that was, exactly, yeah.
This was proven to be her.
Well... Technically, when she gets tried, she ends up getting caught later, and she gets tried.
Let's not give the whole ending away here.
Okay. Well, no.
But
she
only
gets tried for one murder, and that's not this.
Okay, that's usually what happens. Same with Albert Fish.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, like I said, a lot of these other murders and shit is her taking credit for it after the fact.
I have a question about that. Do you think that not charging them with the murder, but they end up spending the rest of their life in prison, like right? Say we both have kids, right? And they take him to court. And they get him for the murder of my son, but not your son. But if he's still going to wait for the rest of your life, and we're pretty, like, we all know it's his. They just didn't do the court case, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't have enough evidence, but they're pretty sure. Would you feel like that's not justice? Sidebar in JB's episode, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I know
because you want to know the books. Like, you want to know, is that really what it is, or is it just hearing it, like...
See, with me, for real, I mean, in a situation like that, I ain't even worried about jail because I'm trying to kill somebody.
Like, I'm saying, say he gets a death sentence, right?
Yeah. I want to kill him.
But like, say he gets, you're not gonna. The government's not gonna be like,
yeah,
you want to do it, sir?
Yeah, I know, but I mean,
you're like been waiting for this moment.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I probably like try to kill him in a courtroom or some shit like that. Like, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. I think to me, I mean. To say technically, I don't know. 'Cause I think it would just be on personal belief. If I believe that person did it, and they're going to jail for that, then
I mean, if you really believe they did it and they went to jail they went to death for my son, but they never tried yours because they couldn't prove it. There was DNA on mine, not yours. They just said it was the same MO, but it was in a different area.
If I believed it was that person, then I might be satisfied with it. But if I didn't believe it was that person, then obviously I'd be upset. Yeah. Because I'd be like, I don't believe it's him. So.
Well, that's different.
Yeah, that would be my thing.
Okay,
So yeah, after the first family side with Walter Byers and his family happened January 31st, 1911. Okay. And the next family side happened in February 25th, 1911, and that was the murders of the Andrus family, and that was I think 5 people, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 people murdered, 4 people.
Damn.
Yeah, it was Alex Andrus, his wife Mimi, their son Joachim, who was 3 years old, and a baby Agnes, who was 11 months old.
That's 4.
4 people.
Yes.
There you go. So
4 months old.
11 months old.
11 months. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
3 years.
Could you imagine hitting a baby with an axe or a hatchet? Fuck it.
Yeah.
With the blunt side is.
Or the other side. It doesn't get
Listen,
suspicious.
the blunt side, I'm at least thinking it might be quick, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
The other side, listen, that's fucking. What the fuck is wrong with people?
Listen, and mind you, at this time that these murders is going on, I mean, she's
how old is she?
She's around this time. This is 2 years after she moved, so she's about 17 years old.
Damn.
During this time. So I mean, if she did these joints, like, you know what I'm saying, even, you know what I'm saying, the first, if you don't count the first one in 1909 as her, you know what I'm saying, with those 4 murders with the 3 kids and the woman, right here, that's fucking, what, 7 people right there?
How heavy do these people sleep?
I don't know.
How, I feel like I really hope that I would hear an axe murder
Yeah, coming
down the hall.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Like how, like, I don't know, what does it sound like?
I mean, it's really just a thump.
Maybe people are drunk and drinking a lot.
It really is just a thump, and shit makes sounds. It's back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the weather was like back then.
Who do you think is getting killed first in these situations? Like, do you think they're killing the parents first, the adults first?
I mean, it really depends. I mean, I don't know. That's the thing with
that's what I'm asking.
But you look. I mean, so you have the answer.
No, I don't. That's what I'm saying. I'm
okay,
just asking you.
no.
Like, who do you think?
So.
No, I'm just asking you. Who do you think? I got shit to.
I mean, well, if I did it, I'd always go from top down.
Get
You know
the
what I mean?
parents
Not
first
that
and
I would
then
ever
end
do
with the
this,
kids.
you know, especially like the kids shit's fucking crazy. I could see me possibly hurting somebody if I had to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I couldn't imagine the moment where I'd ever have to kill an 11-month-old.
Well,
ever. So like but I'm just saying, like, for preservation, I'd start with the strongest and move down. Just like tactically. That's terrifying to think of. But yeah, that's my answer. But I don't know if they're doing that, because what if their whole rush is the kids?
I mean, actually, that a motive comes up later, and she explains. I actually just thought about that and put that together.
Yeah,
but so I'm gonna read.
You're welcome for the psychological explanation to help you put this together. We're good detectives.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna read the actual article from February 28th, 1911, and it's actually kind of long. So, but it says, Saturday night, a Negro family consisting of a husband, wife, and 2 children were brutally murdered in the Trahan and Doucet addition just beyond the railroad track where it crosses Vermilion Street. The victims of the murderer being Alexandre Andrus, his wife Mimi, his son Joachim, aged 3 years, and baby Agnes, 11 months old. The terrible crime was discovered at 7 in the morning by the woman's brother, Lazime Felix, who gave the alarm. Sheriff Lacoste and other officers and Deputy Coroner Clark at once went to the scene. The man, wife, and boy had been brained with an axe while sleeping in the bed, and then the baby lying in the cradle was struck and its head crushed. The man and woman were taken up by the murderer and placed on their knees beside the bed, the woman's arm over the man's shoulder as if in the attitude of prayer. The baby was then placed beside the mother on the bed. Then the murderer escaped through the kitchen door where he had entered. The crime, it is thought, was committed after midnight, as an examination by Dr. Clark disclosed by some slight warmth in the bodies. A coroner's jury was held, for which want of evidence brought in a verdict of the death of an unknown party. Shit. First of all, I know.
Somebody got killed?
What?
Besides, no, what did they say? The warrant of the death of an unknown party?
Oh, it says the coroner's jury was held, for which want of evidence brought in verdict of death by an unknown party.
Okay. I thought they were saying there was a verdict.
No.
And they put someone else to death, but it's an unknown party. I just misheard
No,
something. Okay.
But first of all, reading that right there, because first of all, I skimmed a lot of this shit. So like
that's the first time you actually
first of all, we forgot to put a fucking warning in this.
Oh yeah, warning. Viewer discretion advised. Listener discretion advised. We're talking about killers again. It'll be in the first part of the title, and then the semicolon, the colon, or whatever. You'll know.
Yeah. It's people getting killed in this joint, and like I said, I got real articles. Yeah. And they explain it.
And I did want to point out, if you guys do want to hire us as personal detectives, you can by calling our hotline, 484-378-0878. You can call us, request us. We'll do the investigation. We'll solve it. And, yeah, that's when, you know what I mean? Just call.
Yeah. So, shit. First of all, thinking about that, like, I guess I did answer the question. Like, it answered the question. It definitely said that they murdered the parents first.
Yeah.
and then went down to the babies.
I mean, the baby can't leave.
Yeah.
So there's no real fear.
Yeah.
The kids probably won't think to run out of the house. They're going to think to go to the parents.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the biggest threat to you
Yeah.
as an assailant. And you're young, and you're not going to outpower the guy, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, unless she's fucking Amazonian.
I don't think so. That she was never described as. She was actually described in other things as being like a nice teenage woman or girl or whatever. So, I mean, but anyway, so I mean,
little
even
Rachel down the block, you're thinking is so nice and innocent, a fucking axe murderer,
and going to rearrange your fucking
Yeah,
bodies
yeah,
around
yeah.
and shit like that. Like,
Yep.
it says they were fucking brained to death.
Yeah, they're calling it Rona.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's this fucking axe murder going around.
Yeah, shit. Speaking of, did you know there's a serial killer in Philly right now
No,
killing women?
really?
Yeah, and I
Shit.
think it's a bunch of black women, like leaving them on the street in like bins and body bags and shit.
What?
Like, yeah, it's like fucking like 7 murders and shit.
Oh yeah. See, the news needs to start talking about that more. And,
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I haven't been watching shit lately.
Yeah, that's happening right
That's
now and
fucking
shit
insane.
like
I'm
that.
definitely looking at that now.
Yeah, so
Thanks for ruining my night.
sorry.
I'll be down here drinking coffee, smoking cigarettes, looking for the next fucking serial killer.
So, continue with the article. It says Sheriff Lacoste and the other officers suspected an escaped lunatic from Pineville by the name of Garcon Godfrey. They learned from the mother, whom they arrested, that Godfrey was at Maurice. Deputy Peck and Officer Edwin Campbell went out and got him, but were unable to connect him with the crime as parties at Maurice testified to his having been there all the time. They brought him back and placed him in jail to return to the asylum. Sheriff Lacoste and the other officers making every effort to discover the terrible criminal. Several arrests have been made in connection with the case, but the sheriff has nothing positive to give out. Says about 2 months ago, a family of Negroes consisting of father, mother, and child was murdered under similar circumstances at Crowley. About a year and a half ago, a Negro family of 4, a man, wife, and 2 children were killed in the same manner at Rain. These crimes are so alike that they may be the work of the same terrible monster. So, it's after the second murders
What's
in 1911.
really so alike? Just the
I
weapon?
I think the fact that it's the weapon, it's the whole family, and
Here's the thing about the weapon, because I've done research on axe murders before. I've listened to podcasts and shit too. They talk about how really the reason it was axe murders all the time is because it was a handy tool that was everywhere.
yeah.
You didn't have to bring the tool with you. You used theirs.
And that was the whole thing. The axes was always left at the scene.
yeah,
they're always
because it
left
was
at the
theirs,
scene.
probably.
Exactly.
Or it was from the last place. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
they probably
I
didn't
mean-
even know back then to check. They were like, "Oh, this is from Trader Joe's."
Yeah, they probably knew exactly. I mean, back then.
That guy's a Home Depot guy. He definitely didn't buy this cobalt.
Exactly. Yeah. What the fuck?
That's for damn true. That's for true.
So I mean,
That's final truth.
So, I mean, at this point, you got fucking 7 people murdered. Now they're starting to connect the murders from a year and a half ago. If you count that, that's 11 people fucking murdered right there. And
Shit,
shit.
listen, Lizzie Bourdain didn't do it.
Yeah,
We're connecting this one too.
maybe she did do it.
So alike.
Yeah. I mean, and it's crazy because reading this, you'll hear another guy got brought up. I forget his name, but he's a known axe murderer person from
Nice.
back in the day, who apparently some historians are trying to attribute all these murders to him, and apparently he was working in the U.S. and in Canada just murdering whole families.
Oh shit.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was in that group too. Like I said, axe murders are going on so much during this time that anybody could get blamed for
Make America great again, right?
any group
Isn't that
of
what
them.
they said?
Yeah, right?
Go
So
back
just
to axe
running,
murders.
everybody did. Whole families too. Not just one person, whole
Yeah.
families and shit.
Family Annihilators are back in season.
Yeah, so I mean, and you got to remember at this time police got no leads. Like they said, they thought it was somebody who escaped from jail, but obviously that nigga had an alibi, and he was like, "Nah, I ain't did that shit."
Did they take him back to jail or did they? let
Yeah,
him
nah,
stay
they, nah, I
free?
said they took him out. They said they took him back.
Oh.
Yeah,
'Cause that'd be
he-
funny if they were like, "Listen, did you do this?" And he was like, "No, it wasn't me. I have an alibi." Like, all right, cool. I'll see you later.
Yeah, no, no. It was like, "Oh, you didn't do the murders? All right, well, fuck it. You going back to jail anyway."
Nah, I'd be mad, but come on, man, I just helped you out.
Yeah. So, yeah, I got another fucking joint from March 28th, 2011. It says,
It's another murder.
well, no, this is actually another article and shit like that. But it gives more details and everything like that. And I actually think, matter of fact, I think there was another murder because all this has happened in Louisiana.
Okay.
There was actually one murder that did happen in Texas and shit like that, and they said that was connected with it too.
How far are they from each other?
Louisiana and Texas.
Yeah, I don't know this.
I mean, are they right? Is Alabama? It's Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana. I think Louisiana and Texas might be right next to each other.
They touch.
They might.
They touch tips.
I think Texas might be all over Louisiana.
Ooh, just
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't think of any state in between because I think it's Mississippi, Alabama, then Louisiana as you're going west. So, they think when they're connecting her later in the story, she's saying that she hopped on trains and shit like that. Well, a lot of people are getting around with trains back in the day, and that's why, like I said, linking them to other people. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they was like, oh, he just hopped on a train and went here and killed this person and hopped back on the train, and you know what I'm saying? So that's always the theory with all these people and shit like that. So
I don't think you need to read the whole article. Do you know any parts of it or?
No, I wasn't gonna read that whole part and shit like that.
Thank God.
No. So this one right here basically is this is just saying the one from Texas and shit like that, where it's another family and shit like that.
How many people?
Says 5.
Okay.
Yeah, Negro family of 5 was brained with an axe, and under the circumstances similar to what seemed to connect crimes committed in Louisiana.
Brained with an axe.
And that's what I'm trying to what does
brained? It means brains were exposed.
It definitely means brains were exposed.
Yes, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they used
blunt or sharp side.
Excuse me. I would definitely assume blunt. I mean, blunt.
Yeah, especially if brains are exposed like that. Like,
yeah,
that's fucking nasty.
But I mean, if you definitely hit them in the head with an axe, when you pull back out, I mean, you're definitely gonna see brain.
But I don't know. First of all, if I'm gonna kill somebody, I'm not. That's all. This seems like a lot of work.
Personal.
Yeah, and it seems like a lot of work.
It's a lot of rage. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's hard to swing axes.
Like,
especially if it's a hatchet, whatever. With a hatchet, you ain't braining shit with it.
No, a hatchet, you're just.
There was also
a blade
have you ever seen a maul?
A maul?
A maul, M-A-U-L, I think is how you spell it.
M-A-U-L, no.
Yeah, it's like a thing you use. Basically, it's like a wedge. It's less of a like an axe or whatever. Will kind of have like a tight, narrow gap that comes to a point. This will be more like a fucking
more of an angle,
more obtuse.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes in, it like really just blows the wood out. So it's more about having a tight focal point with a lot of heavy weight behind it coming through, and then it pushes outward.
Yeah.
So it splits the wood. It's basically like a wood splitter with hand. That would be better at braining people. Just saying.
If you want to brain people, go get them all.
Go get them all.
Like,
don't
what
be
the
fucking
fuck?
around with a fucking axe.
Yeah.
Or a hatchet. Get a fucking maul.
Shit, and just like the fucking bodies in Louisiana, these bodies were arranged and methodical details and everything like that. It says Sheriff Lacoste he's been in correspondence with Texas authorities and shit like that, and so I mean, I guess the towns were close enough to where
they would communicate. Because at this point, there was no interstate communication.
No, there was no phone. Yeah, they're not doing all that shit like that. I mean, they weren't even doing that shit, like I said, in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, well, they had to
like
start that one child law, right? To get them to talking about the Amber Alerts and stuff.
Is that what? And that was more recent, right?
That was the guy who hosted that show. It was his son.
That was it becoming like a nationwide thing instead of a state thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that sort of connected that shit. But yeah, I guess like I said, these towns, I didn't look at them on the map, but they must be close enough to where, like I said, train ain't that far away, and they're talking to each other and shit.
Now we got another family in Texas, Dad.
Yeah. So
only one in Texas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only one in Texas.
Now back to Louisiana.
Yep. Now.
Louisiana fast.
I'm
having a good time this episode.
Why? Because you're not doing
Jamie's
anything?
doing all the work. I just get to have fun. I get to make commentaries.
Yeah. Well, I mean, whatever. You did all the work last episode.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's only right you sit back and enjoy your water. You know what I'm saying? Don't do anything. You don't do anything anyway, so it's that's never anything.
Why you're giving me all this? It's almost like I do more than you say.
No.
It's almost like
I'm giving you all the credit from last episode.
Get back to the episode now.
I'm here. But anyway, it says so at this time and shit like that, the people they're not really having strong leads and shit like that. But for some reason they start looking at Clementine's, her dad Raymond and shit like that.
Please stop saying shit like that.
Why?
It's like the 50th time.
Is it?
Yes.
Damn, is that the new it's interesting.
You're doing that and
Don't even notice. Now I'll keep that in mind. But anyway, yeah, Raymond's name got thrown in there. I was just about to say.
I know you were. Now you're gonna see it. Now you're gonna see how often you were saying it.
So, very quickly and shit like that. No shit. Anyway, so bam, Raymond's name gets brought up. They lock him up.
Who's Raymond?
Raymond is the dad. Is Clementine's dad.
So how does his name come up? Do they ever explain it?
They never explain how his name. I mean, everybody's name's getting brought up around. Like this is back in the day where anybody could get blamed
they
for
just
anything.
start picking people.
Yeah,
And when
exactly.
they picked him at one point, it was like it was
Something-
more solid. Something was like, whoa, there's something here.
Exactly.
Got
So actually, what happened was, they picked him up, and you know what I'm saying, took him in there, took him to court, whatever. And it's crazy because they had 2 witnesses who testified against him, and guess who they were? Clementine and her brother Zephyrin.
Oh shit.
Exactly.
So she's lying.
I mean,
She's
she's
lying
lying or telling the truth.
Oh.
So, matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you what it was. I know what connected them to the thing. So apparently, a lot of people in this area were a part of a church called Christ Sanctified Holy Church.
Okay.
And that was, I guess, like a southern denominational thing that was started down there and all that. And it says that they had an offshoot of the church, which they think that Raymond was a part of, called the Church of Sacrifice.
Okay.
And this is where, I guess, the displaying, the moving of the bodies and putting them in different places and shit like that comes into play. To where apparently this Church of Sacrifice was a voodoo group and practice a lot of voodoo. They're Haitians, like, you know what I'm saying, they're in Louisiana, so they got that culture with them and all that. So apparently they think Raymond is practicing voodoo and is killing these families and doing that shit. And they get a lot of this testifying from Clementine and her brother Zephyrin and shit like that. They also once the cops arrest Raymond, they go into his house and whatever, and they search around, and for some reason they only searched their room and the living room and shit like that. And they found bloody clothes all over him with brains all over his shit like that. And shit, is that what you were doing? Damn, that's crazy. I gotta get some new words, man.
So
anyway, so Clementine also testified that her father was missing the night of the murder and shit, and came in the next day. I'm tired of you. I'm not even looking at you, man. So the father came in the next day, and she said that he had blood all over his clothes and brains matter.
she's lying on him.
Yeah, she's saying that. The son is also saying the same thing. So
what if they're not lying?
Well, I mean,
is that a thing later on? Okay.
That's a theory also. That, I mean.
Well, keep going with your story. So he's covered in brains and blood.
Yeah, he's covered in brains. They
know what brains looks like.
I mean, I guess brains ain't hard to decipher.
Maybe back then they were eating cow brains and pig brains and shit.
Maybe. I mean, there's so many brains everywhere. I mean, 11 people got killed without the 1.5 murders ago in 1909.
Shit.
So I mean, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So they lock him up. You know what I'm saying? Go to court. You know what I'm saying? Pretty fast. And within like a month, he's convicted. Like he's in there. Now he's convicted of the Andrus murders. He's not really convicted of the Byers murders. The Byers murders is the first set of murders that happened in 1911, not the 1909 murders.
Okay.
So the Andrus murders is the ones where that's the one with the 3-year-old kid and 11 months old. Yep. Those are the ones that he's convicted for. So while he gets convicted, I think in October of 1911. In November of 1911 is when some more murders happen, and that's when police start suspecting, okay, maybe it's not Raymond and shit. Like, it's not Raymond.
Yeah. And sure.
So So they booked him. He's booked up, and while he's booked, a family of 6 gets murdered. The Randall family, and I didn't find any ages. Maybe I did find ages of that, but
this is the one in November.
Yeah, this is the one in November.
This is the one where they go, yeah, we know there's something off here.
Because Raymond's already booked at this time. Raymond got booked and convicted in October.
Yeah.
So October, he's thrown away and all that. End of November, you know what I'm saying, right around Thanksgiving, it says November 28th. You know what I'm saying? That's when the Randall family's murdered. I'm just going to read a little bit from that joint. It says, yesterday morning, the town was shocked again by the discovery of the murder of an entire Negro family Sunday night. The victims were Norbert Randall, his wife, and 3 children and nephew. They occupied a 3-room house in the Mills Addition just beyond the turn of Madison Street going into Colvins. The discovery of the murder was made by the oldest child of the Randall family, a girl about 10, who had spent the night at her uncle's house. She found the kitchen door open and upon entering saw her parents and the children in bed murdered. She gave the alarm and officers at once went to the scene of the murder and made every investigation possible. A considerable rain was falling which removed any outside trace of the criminal. Inside, nothing seemed to have been disturbed. The murder was committed with an axe which was found to be in the house washed off. The man and a wife and a little baby girl were found in one bed, and the 3 boys in another, all struck in the head. All must have died instantly. Sheriff Lacoste has arrested Clementine Barnabet, daughter of Raymond Barnabet, now under conviction of having killing the Andrews family the same way last February. Clementine is now living within a block of the Randall cabin, and certain things led the sheriff to arrest her on suspicion. Also, her brother, the chief witness against their father at trial. So, yeah, right there is when the cops is like, yeah, something's fishy with this whole family. I guess because they had him locked up, they was like, man, let's just go back.
They still had the connection, and then it'd be like, well, if he's locked up, then the witnesses lied.
Exactly. So, I mean, that was like Clementine and her brother Zephyrin were basically the reasons why the father was locked up. Yeah. Without their testimony and all that shit, there was really nothing to lead them there and shit like that.
And shit like that.
So
she's arrested now.
Yeah, so she's arrested. Okay. She's
her and Zac Efron.
Yeah.
And her dad.
Zephyrin, I guess, yeah. So now all 3 of them are in jail, and they're talking to her in there. And it says, in jail, Clementine refused to cooperate with the police, and she refused to admit playing any part in the murders. It says, and yet with Clementine and Raymond both locked up in the same jail, black families across Louisiana and Texas continued to suffer the same bloody fate. It says 3 more families were killed in January 1912, including the Broussard family, where a note containing a Bible passage was left at the scene. Now,
so more axe murders happen.
Yeah.
They let them out.
So while everybody's in jail, shit is happening. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's a really common occurrence.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like I said, it's just axe murders like left and right.
It's fucking crazy.
So, I mean,
I'm tired of rain and humidity. They were like, we're tired of axe murders. You know what I mean? Like, we have a lot of axe murders this summer.
Every month, every couple months, like it's a whole family. Like, can you, first of all, I mean,
listen, family annihilators are terrifying.
Yeah, like
I mean, any killing anybody like on a degree of like sadistic level and shit like that's fucked up. But I'm just saying, like a family annihilator, someone who like wants to wipe out a fucking bloodline right there, like that's fucking insane.
And it's crazy because like you got to think like this is still back in the day. Like if this shit is happening now, like if somebody's walking around axing people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people around here are going to get scared. Like, people are going to be scared.
Terrifying.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And people have a lot more guns and ways to protect themselves, technology and shit.
Like, the way right now we can't get certain things, like, because everything's on back order.
Yeah.
It would be that way with, like, fucking security systems and locks.
Exactly, yeah, because people be going crazy and shit like that. But just, like, back then, they didn't have none of that. Like, they didn't have no fucking cameras. Like, they barely had cameras to take pictures. But fuck video cameras and shit like that.
The locks weren't shit.
Yeah, apparently, the
windows weren't shit.
Yeah, I wonder if they even did have locks on the door. Like, if lock was the steel fucking wooden shit that you slide down.
I mean, listen, back then, if there was axe murders, I would have definitely made one.
Yeah, it'd be like,
they'd have been, what's that? The new lock? What is it? I'd be pulling out this big piece of 2x4 and being like,
two of them.
You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, that's some fucking crazy shit. Like, how many people did it say? It said 3 kids and 3 boys.
Here's what I would do. I would basically do whatever I could do to prepare for the purge if it happened and I had, like, just the same amount of notice.
Yeah,
it'd be kind of the same way.
How much of the purge could you?
If it was here, like say like they were like guy down the street got axe murdered. Dog, okay, I'm plywooding up my windows.
Is that what you're doing? Yeah. Early, just one guy gets axe murdered. You're like, I'm putting windows in my fucking shit.
One family gets axe murdered. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. The whole family.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that was personal though. If it's just one?
Listen, I think it's personal to murder someone with an axe. To murder a whole family, like, could you imagine if you beat me in chess and I murdered your whole family?
I mean, but isn't that what people say though? People be like, I'll murder your whole family. Like, isn't that?
I feel like that's a joke.
It could be, but what I'm saying is, if somebody's murdering whole families,
subconsciously they're like, this is a thing I could definitely do.
No, I'm just saying, if somebody, like I said, if my neighbor or somebody down the street, the whole family gets taken out with an axe. I'm thinking they piss somebody the fuck off. Like somebody.
They owe somebody money.
Something
happened.
Something.
Yeah.
My thing is
I
they're
see what
not.
you're
Yeah, they were making that one person pay.
Then make it second family happens.
Second family.
You're boarding that shit up, right?
Second family happens. All right, man.
You gonna call me going, yo, listen, you were right.
No, I mean second one.
Listen, I'm not. You're realistically right. The first one I wouldn't do it because like I said that one guy down here got beat up and put in the ICU. I actually just took his house from him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he got evicted, I think. Yeah, he was in the hospital. He was fucking beat up because someone broke into his ass.
And he couldn't pay rent. And
Couldn't pay rent. He was out. The mortgage, whatever the hell it was. I don't know.
Sucks.
But yeah, he the fucking world's vicious.
Yeah. After the second family though, seriously.
After the second one, I'm dog. Like I'm looking. I'm getting
thinking.
a hotel or
Yeah,
some shit.
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. After the second family, I'm taking some precautions. That's what I say.
Yeah.
I'm not going all out and boarding windows up.
Listen, you need to start making them Home Alone traps with like denting. You know
Exactly,
what I mean?
and that's when you got to start making sure, like,
Be training your kids. Like, listen.
yeah, we got weapons.
Yeah, when you open the door, remember you got to turn the handle right and quick left. If not, the big ball of spikes is coming right towards your face. You know what I mean? The little ones are like, you're okay for now, but once you get to this level,
right.
You could die.
Your house, they walk in and see your whole family murdered by all the fucking contraptions in your house because people forgot. Woke up at 3 a.m. and set off all the alarms.
Power went off.
Dumb
Everything
shit.
just triggers.
Yeah. Nah, by the time that third family's murdered, though, I'm like, all right. Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
Second family.
We got
second family. I'm.
Listen, because at this time, you got 11 people, then 6 people. Because you got 17 people from 3 different families killed at one point. And that's not counting the one in 1909.
The one later, claimed to be, yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to count them, that's 21 people fucking brained with axes and shit like that. So, this shit crazy. So, apparently, they were testing. They had some kind of forensics back in the day, though. Like, I didn't think forensics was that early and shit like that. But it says, District Attorney Rubira received a telephone message Wednesday from Chemist Metz of New Orleans, to whom the bloody clothes of Clementine Barnabet had been sent for testing. She, claiming the blood was from herself, Clemens Metz declared that the blood was not menstrual, but that both the white and blue shirtwaist and skirt had been pure human blood and brains on them. Says Clementine is now in jail, charged with murder of Norbert Randall, his wife, and 4 children who were brutally killed with an axe last November while asleep. Says she was arrested the morning of the murder was discovered, and the clothes which were submitted to Chemist Metz were found locked up in the closet adjoining Clementine's room. The clothes were proven hers, and she owned they belonged to her. So,
I have a sidebar.
yes.
I'm just saying. It's a male chauvinist joke coming. It would make sense that when they have their period, that they would lose a little bit of brain because they're a little bit of a pain in the ass in that time. So I'm saying maybe did she even try to explain the brain?
I mean,
she said it was menstrual blood, right? They said it wasn't menstrual.
Yeah.
And it was raw. It was human, like raw human or whatever the hell you said. It was a weird thing, and there was brain matter in it. I wonder if she was like, yeah, there's brain there because, Like, I wonder if she had an excuse.
I mean, I guess back in the day, she probably could have got away with that. Because, she was born in the 1800s. And back then, they thought a lot of shit about some dumb shit. Especially periods and bloods and shit. So.
That's when you said they had I'm bad with, like, time periods. So, like, I'm bad with that shit. So, when you're like, yeah, they had some kind of, CSI, like, ability to, like, investigate and do this shit. I'm sitting there thinking, like, yeah, they're probably like, this blood tastes more salty than that blood. That's not the same blood, okay?
That's fucking disgusting.
That's a different killer. You know what I mean?
My man just basically said they licked the blood to test the difference.
Listen, someone did it. At some point in time in human history, I want you to know someone was like,
Well, do you think that...
That's Ed. You know what I mean? I don't know if they were cavemen. I don't know why they did that voice, but yeah.
I don't know. I think menstrual blood was definitely more clotty, though. I don't think you had to taste it. I think you could just see it. I think there's a difference.
Don't say more clotty. Back to the braining.
Like milk curdling up. I feel that
get back to the braining.
Oh shit. So
let's talk about more dead kids.
Oh yeah. So while Clementine's in jail, more people are murdered. In January 18th, 1912, the Warner family was murdered, and this is a family with a woman, Marie, and 3 kids. Pearl, age 9. Pearl the squirrel. Pearl the squirrel, turd tables, age 9. Axe murdered. Sucks. Then Gary, age 7.
Shout out to our patrons.
Yes. Gary, age 7, and Harriet, age 5. So, I mean, first of all, that goes back to now they got to start looking into this fucking church of sacrifice shit. Because your two main suspects.
3.
Yeah, 3. Which is basically one whole family. They're locked up. And motherfuckers are still getting murdered.
In the same way.
In the same way. Everybody's getting brained.
Okay.
Everybody's getting brained and axed. And it's the whole families. The whole shit.
But they're doing the prayer positions too?
Yeah, they're still rearranging bodies and shit like that. In all the articles and shit like that, when you read them and go in detail, they're rearranging bodies.
Okay.
They're getting there. So yeah, while this is going on, yeah, like I said, Clementine's not cooperating with the police at first. They search the shit, find her clothes, dresses and shit, blood and brains on them joints and all that. So, I mean,
gotta do a better job of cleaning your murdered outfits.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
First of all, why would you keep them? I mean,
burn them?
Yeah, I mean, did they not know about forensics and all this shit back in the day? I guess a little bit. When did that come along? Like, when did they start using that and be like, we're gonna solve crimes with this shit? You know what's funny? I watched not Sweeney Todd. What's the movie he was in? Hollow Man. You never said Sleepy Hollow. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Yep.
You never seen that?
The movie?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Well, that was in like the 1800s and shit like that, and he was a cop, but he wanted to use like scientific ways to like catch people and shit like that, and they were like, "Oh, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit," basically, and that's why they sent them to Sleepy Hollow to do his little detective shit.
Okay.
I just realized that when I watched that shit the other day and shit like that.
Didn't know that.
Damn, I keep saying and shit like that. Now I'm catching it.
Mm-hmm.
I hate you for pointing it out.
You're welcome.
You're the worst.
Helping you out and
Yeah.
shit like that.
So 2 days after the Warner family's murdered, that mind you, after Clementine, her brother, and her dad are locked up. 2 days after that, January 20th, the Broussard family is murdered, and this is Felix Broussard, his wife, and their 3 children.
I'm gonna kind of cut to the end a little bit, but
Yeah.
She's not breaking out and doing this, right?
No.
Okay, I'm just wanted to.
No.
make sure. Okay.
She's in jail. She's in. They got her locked up.
So continue your story.
Yeah. So, like I said, Felix, his wife, and 3 children, all killed, all brained. I'm not going to go into details. I'm not going to read the article and all that shit. But, yeah, with this going on and all that, now the officers are getting stumped right now. And they're like, man, we don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, we swore we had these people. We got fucking Raymond with blood and brains all on his clothes. We got Clementine's clothes with blood and brains all on them joints.
How did he have blood and brains on his clothes? On the dad? Did the dad have it?
I mean, yeah, the dad had it. So there's 2 theories. Well, there's a couple theories. The one theory is that all three of them, the dad, the daughter, and the son, they belong to this church of sacrifice, and that they were carrying out this stuff together. Another theory is that it was Clementine doing this herself and then just set up her dad to throw them off her case.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Sort of either threatened her brother or brought him into the whole thing where they testified against him and shit like that. I think it's more looking like that everybody is in, like, there's more people in this church of sacrifice shit. That's what that's what it's seeming like.
Oh, look, it's a cult.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, this voodoo cult, basically. I mean, yeah, the Church of Sacrifice.
Yeah.
So, they're supposed to be an offshoot of, what's it called? Christ's Sanctified Holy Church and all that. They're supposed to be members of that church and got a little subsect of that and killing people.
They go a little crazy and start grabbing axes.
Yeah.
So that's the group.
Yeah.
So that actually is a thing. Like, those people actually...
This is the thing about it. As they're investigating this stuff... What the fuck are you looking
I'm
at?
watching my dog. Just continue.
I don't know what was back there. But, yeah, as they're investigating this, it says Sheriff Lacoste and other people, they're not, what?
Your reaction is always funny.
What
the fuck are you looking at?
Because, like, it was scaring me. Yeah, but I didn't know it was the dog. You were just staring and it was scaring me.
Okay.
But,
it's an axe murder.
Yeah, could be. But, shit, now you threw me off. What were we talking about? The voodoo cult.
Yes.
Yeah, so, yeah, now it's looking... We're thinking it is the voodoo cult.
Because of the prayers, they're going voodoo cult. This is the cops, right? So at the time, they're figuring this out.
Yeah, they're saying it's the voodoo cult, the way that the bodies is splayed around, the blood, the brains. I mean, They're like, yeah. And there's little rumblings and rumors of shit going on like that and
Okay.
shit the whole time. This is the black community and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas talk. You know what I'm saying? There's word around the hood. You know what I'm saying? About what's going on. There's always that.
Hood Talk with JB.
Yeah.
Every Saturday at 12 p.m.
Yeah, there's always that.
12 a.m., sorry.
That's midnight, right? I'm not doing that at midnight.
You ain't doing it at noon either.
I'd rather do it at noon. But anyway, yeah, so Officer Sheriff Lacoste, while he's investigating this shit, he's not finding no evidence of Church of Sacrifice.
Its
So,
existence.
yeah, so that's the thing that's also confusing about this, where, like I said, she did get tried and convicted. So we'll say she confessed after this Broussard murders and shit. That's the second famicide after she gets locked up.
And she starts confessing.
She said, yeah, she starts confessing a couple months later, and that's when she talks about how she
claimed to kill how many?
She claims specifically she took part in 35.
Took part in 35, didn't kill 35.
Yeah, she confessed, it says, to 17 to 25 of her own. I mean, different sources say different numbers.
I wonder if that's because they went as a family. Like the whole church. Like I said, they went as a group and did these things and only left the one axe.
And see, that is actually part of what she said happened. A lot of times she said that for
like
other
I said,
murders,
you can hire us as detectives. You see how I solved that before you even told me? You saw that shit? Imagine we're working together.
Yeah. But it's saying, yeah, with some other murders that she didn't actually do, that she sent people to do, like her brother and her dad and other members of the church. Like, some other people got arrested. Like, remember, this whole time, people are getting arrested, but shit's not sticking. There's no evidence for them and shit like that. But after Clementine gets arrested and her brother and all that, and she starts talking about this voodoo and sacrifice and all that, they start arresting, they arrested, like, a voodoo priest guy and some other fucking members. But there's no sources saying what happened to them. So, I mean, they could have said that this was a group thing, but at the same time, they were saying that there was no evidence of there actually being a cult. Not saying that there wasn't voodoo taking place and all this stuff like that, but them actually being a group and a cult and shit like that, there was really no evidence of that. Not saying that people weren't working together, though.
Okay.
So
they're just saying the group has no organization.
Yeah, it was just this group that happened to be this family with a couple other people who practice voodoo.
Okay.
Basically. So, yeah, and on April 15th, 1912, Clementine confessed. This article says 17 murders. And it says admitting to participating in or directing in other assassinations, 35 in total. It says during these murders, she wore a voodoo amulet which she believed would protect her during killing sprees. Naturally, when the press got wind of this detailed, wild rumors about sex-fueled orgies and dark, mysterious voodoo rituals began to abound. It didn't help matters that Clementine herself admitted to fondling and caressing the corpses of her victims.
Well, I will say, this sounds like one of those things they use to demonize voodooism.
Yeah. So, I mean, and you got to think about at this time, like, while these murders are happening in black neighborhoods and black families, but at the same time, white people are around it. Yeah, exactly. They're hearing about it, and they're like, any one of these fucking Negroes, any one of these niggas could be part of this voodoo, sex-filled orgy, axe murdering group. So, I mean, niggas, it actually details, like, a couple people got, like, fucking killed and lynched and, like, beat the fuck up over that shit. So, like, people just being scared and shit like that.
Yeah,
like,
white people, you don't want to get white people scared.
Yeah. White people was out there, like, lynching motherfuckers and beating motherfuckers up for no reason. And the thing was, like, they wasn't even happening to them. Like, you know what I'm saying? They be like, you could be the axe murderer. And it's like, dog, they not even murdering in your neighborhood and shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, maybe they cared a little. Just a little. Just saying, think about it. Maybe there was a little bit. And
I don't think so.
I know you don't think white people care, but like a little bit.
No, not in that way, because if you did care, then you would go through the system instead of just killing somebody with no evidence.
I mean, listen, you find out someone's like fucking up your community and he's walking down the street and y'all know it's him.
But they didn't know. Because apparently Clementine and the people
they end it. Well, see, they're scared though. They're scared white people. So like, we know.
Yeah, we know
right now. This is our best judgment. It's him. Why? He's the only one here.
Ahmaud Arbery. Yeah. I mean, basically that. So
well, but that was a.
I'm just saying, instead of robberies that happened, it had been axe murders going on, and he happened to be in the neighborhood, just like whoever was randomly in the neighborhood.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So I mean, yeah, they was getting fucked up. So basically, it comes to find out that they think that the Church of Sacrifice was a concoction of imaginative news reporters.
And shit like that.
Yeah, and shit like that, of course. Yet many questions about Clementine and mysterious Church of Sacrifice remain unanswered to this day. It says, for instance, if the cult did not exist, who continued to murder the black family with axes while the Barnabets were locked up in jail? So those two family sides afterwards, I mean, nobody ever...
Are you saying family sides?
Family sides.
Family side.
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Not
Family side.
family side.
Family sides, whatever you want to pronounce it.
It's your new rap name.
Homicides of families. How about that?
It's such a even here you can figure it out when you hear the word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a weird word to hear.
I mean,
Famicide.
I don't think I really heard it or read it until looking at shit for this. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, so
it's fucking crazy. How many families were axe murdered in this time period?
So
did they ever give that?
In this whole time period, you have the family in 1909, and then you have actually the 3 families murdered, with Raymond getting convicted of one.
Yep.
Nobody convicted of one, and then Clementine convicted of the other.
Yep.
Then after that, you have 2 more families killed with a total. I mean, it's about 35 people. Like I said, if you count the family in 1909, it was like 21. Then you had 1, 2. Then you have 4 people right there, which is 25, and Felix and his wife, which is 27, and 3 children is about 30.
Yeah.
And I mean,
and then you go back to
that was including
that one-off one. Yeah, and she probably said there was more.
Yeah, exactly.
Because yet again, axe murders were like
they were common.
They were like fucking those Japanese lanternflies. They're everywhere.
Exactly. Yeah, and I mean that was the thing about it. Actually, in the article that I got that lists all of the fucking articles, there's more on there. Like I said, they're happening, but there's no concrete evidence to say that she did it, except her saying that she did it. But they didn't. I don't think they believed her for a lot of them things and shit like that. But yeah. So basically, I think one of the most interesting things about this story is she goes to jail. They send her to jail. I think in 1912 and shit like that. She confesses and all that.
And shit like that.
Yeah. She tries to escape jail. Doesn't. But in August of 1923, they actually let her out of jail and never heard from her again. No reason of why she was out.
They never know why she let her out.
And it's crazy because one source said she escaped, but other sources said that she was let out and never heard from again. And you can't find no records of her after that and all this. And she was 18 when she went to jail, got convicted and all that of the murders and all that.
So when she got out, how old was she?
I don't know. 23 in 1923.
I mean,
she was born in 19. So I would think 27.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Yeah, she only 9 years in jail and shit like that. About.
Damn.
Yeah, for fucking 30 people.
30 involved.
Yeah.
Crimes.
So
fuck. She definitely did one. She had brain matter on her shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she definitely killed at least one family. So I mean, according to what you believe,
I mean, even if she didn't kill one family, she just killed one person. I think she's still like, especially in that fucking way. It's not like that person was invading your home or something.
No, she crept into these people's houses
and brained them.
Yes, with their own fucking axe.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's crazy. I do believe
Billy Bob brained them.
I do believe that she did a lot of the murders herself. I mean, I don't know why.
It just seems odd to me. To me, it seems almost like her brother was probably involved. Yeah, it's odd that he just clinged to her story.
Well, he's her younger brother.
The dad might have been involved. If that whole church thing is involved and that prayer thing was really relevant, unless the police disclosed that information and someone copycatted it, which is why they stopped doing that.
Yeah,
that could be why.
Yeah, and that
used to be a thing back in the day.
Yeah, that was also I was going to say that was also a theory that she didn't commit all of these jaunts. Yeah, some of them were copycats, and that she was just trying to take credit.
I'm just saying, for someone to go in and bludgeons, it's a lot of strength, it's a lot of rage. That's scary. But at the same time, like, it's hard to do as one person, especially a young girl.
Yeah.
So that's why I would say it seems more likely that someone else was involved while she was doing it. Plus, it makes it easier to do the deed. And then you got to move all the bodies. So you got to be mad enough. You got to be committed enough to get there, grab the shit, then get into the house. You got to be mad enough to brain 4 people. And then you got to be like calm enough afterwards to then reposition the bodies. Yeah. I'm just saying it doesn't sound like a teenage girl.
I mean, you're right.
But people do have shit happen in their life and they go a little crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
Start acting like Alex Lyons. And shit.
That's how Alex is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fucking wild. But yeah, I mean, hey, I think it does make sense that she did have a lot of help and shit like that because fuck. Yo, I'm really mad that you pointed that shit out.
You're welcome. And you're welcome too. And it's going to be a drinking game. Every time you hear it, take a drink.
We should insert that.
I'll have it in the beginning.
Yeah, I'm going to record it, throw it in there every time you hear shit
You're not
and
recording
shit like that.
anymore.
Oh, okay.
You've done enough
Too much in
You've
shit
done
like that.
that
So
was the one that was over the limit. Damn it. But yeah. No, that's an interesting story.
Yeah. So
They just that's what I don't get. I think she escaped. It sounds like some bullshit that they let her out, but if they did let her out, they gave her to somebody.
Listen, only one source said that she escaped. Only one. And I want to say that one source was a Reddit thing.
I mean, because it doesn't make sense. We let her out. Why?
Why? And that's the thing.
Did you let the brother out? Did you let the dad out?
And see, that's the thing about records back in the day. Like, I don't understand certain things. Like I said, there's no record of what happened to Raymond after he was convicted because apparently, like I said, I mean, they were getting Clementine and shit. So I don't think that they put together that they were in a group. So it doesn't say that they let him out of jail or nothing. So apparently he might have rotted in jail for a crime he didn't commit. If he didn't, like, you know what I'm saying?
Because she definitely could have set him up. But it does seem like, I said, I don't think she did it by herself.
But this is also the thing.
But it's possible.
This is also the thing, too, though. Another theory was thinking that, like I said, because he was abusive and shit like that, the brother and the daughter, Zephyrin and Clementine joined up with some other people, did the murders, and end up blaming her dad.
That's like I said. That seems possible.
Yeah, I think that did happen.
Yeah,
I think that did happen just because of there wasn't
unless the dad was like if something happens, just blame it all on me.
Yeah, but I doubt that.
But if they're
because
a family, if they're a family that goes around and acts people,
yeah, he was claiming innocence though.
Okay.
So it was never like he was like, yeah, I did it. Like he was claiming
that. You imagine coming home and your daughter and your son have like cooked up the plan. They're gonna murder people, and just in case they
blame it on you.
They got the gun set in your car.
Listen, dog. I'd want to kill. Listen, I want to kill my own kids.
You're
for
on
that.
stand and you're listening to your kids go.
He's
come home covered in blood, talking about this gun. Remember when he bought it and he was bragging about it the one night when he was drunk, and you're sitting there like, I'm gonna beat your fucking ass.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's basically what they were saying. They were basically saying that he came home in the morning and had blood on his clothes. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the Randall family, the family that she actually did get convicted of killing. The dad she shot with a gun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that dad was actually shot with a gun.
So, yeah, well, and that's fuck.
Yeah, so
why?
I mean, that again, the whole thing is
that might have been personal.
It could have been.
And that could have been her first one.
I mean,
shot him.
Yeah, actually,
somebody wakes up and it was like, and it was like.
That's when she.
Smash.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. That might have been her real, like you said. That might have been her real first one.
I have kids, and it's like, damn.
So
gotta smash them too now.
Yeah, so as they're talking to her and she's confessing all this stuff, they asked her why she did the kids. And she actually said that she killed the kids because she felt like it would be better for them to be dead than to be orphans and to grow up in that world and society. So she felt like she was killing their parents, but she was doing them a favor by killing them so they didn't have to grow up in that type of life.
She thought she was being sympathetic.
Yeah. But, I mean...
Crazy people, huh?
Yeah. When they convicted her, they said... I mean, don't also forget that they said she was fondling and caressing these bodies.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a sick part, too. Like, after you brain these people, they don't even have heads and faces anymore.
Maybe that's why she shot the one guy. She was the one she wanted to, like, really get in there with. Think she was banging him?
I don't know. It doesn't
seem as possible for a female to do it as a male, unless you break their back first, of course.
Like, what do you mean?
You can't really rape a guy.
Oh.
When he's dead.
Yeah, I don't
think rigor mortis kicks into that area and makes it all stiff and hard.
I don't know what exactly. Yeah, it doesn't go into detail.
Well, just
about
usually,
what she was
if a guy was doing that, the assumption would always be.
Yeah, that he's doing that.
So.
But I mean, I don't know. Who knows? I mean, maybe she's just molesting him and shit like that. Y'all are gonna be drunk at the end of this episode.
I am. This is interesting because, like I said, I never heard of these axe murders. I wonder if I'm gonna go back and listen to this one podcast that did a bunch of axe murder episodes.
And
I want to see if I missed it. Yeah, and that was called Church of Salvation.
The
Christ
big
Church.
church, the church
No, the
that
little one, the section.
okay, a church of sacrifice.
Church of Sacrifice. They were
Yeah.
sacrificing families.
Exactly. The real church, the bigger church is actually a real church. Is Christ Sanctified Holy Church. So that's a real church that's still in operation today down south mainly, and all that. So, yeah, man. I mean, the fuck.
Damn.
Clementine Barnabet. So remember that name.
Clementine Barnabet.
Yeah. Believed to be the first African American female serial killer in the United States.
Ended up being part of a cult group, potentially.
I mean, potentially.
Potentially.
Like I said, there's a bunch of, there's nothing really concrete, you know what I'm saying, except that she did participate in murders of multiple people. So,
Damn.
she gets credit for 35, I will say that.
She's hard.
And yeah, in history, like, I think, like, if you look down at actual, like, American serial killers, she gets credit for 35 of them.
Damn.
So,
Well, they give fucking Manson all the credit for all those, and he only,
I mean, but,
I think he stabbed a guy and he shot a guy.
well, apparently she was supposed to be one of the high priestesses. She had a high ranking in this group, supposedly, that she was saying. So, I mean, she was directing
Well,
people.
of course she would say she was like high ranking. If she was lying about other shit,
I mean,
she'd be
and
like,
that's
I
what-
was obviously the shit. I was the queen of this bitch.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what they were saying.
Damn.
And like I said, there's no records of her father, her brother, the voodoo priest. I think his name was Thibodeau something. I can't remember. It was like
His name was Jed.
no, it was definitely some French,
Jed
some
Clampett.
French shit.
Jed Clampett.
But yeah, so and they arrested like a woman and a voodoo priestess, another woman, and somebody else. But there's no records of them. Like so, like I don't understand what they were.
So
doing.
the whole story's fake. Like I said, I think you just pulled this out of your ass. Someone tricked you.
No, I mean, there's no records of them after they go to
okay,
jail.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I mean. After they get booked and
What if
arrested,
they just murdered them and hid their bodies?
they could have.
I mean,
And that's what I was gonna say. This is 1911 and
Yeah.
1912. Like
yeah, they could have definitely did that shit.
they're down south in Louisiana. So like, what the fuck?
Death Pounding Louisiana is Louisiana fast.
Holy shit!
they fucking chopped them up
Fuck.
and threw them out.
They probably fucking did.
That's where
Drawn
that
and
slogan
quartered
came
them,
from,
hanged
man.
them.
Listen, as soon as they got in there, they're like, "Listen, you're in jail right now. Yeah, your death sentence is coming up. Yep, right
Wouldn't
now."
be surprised. They might have handed them over to the Klan.
And right before they did it, they gave him some Louisiana Popeyes
some
chicken.
Cajun joints.
Yeah, they were like, "Here's some chicken. Here's this new sandwich we're gonna try out in a couple hundred years or so." You know what I mean?
Test this joint out.
Yeah, test this going out. We're gonna see if we release it then. We want to make sure people aren't like fighting or anything over it.
They were like, "Oh, this is to die for."
Yeah, great. Real quick though, can you look that way? And the guy just fucking
Axes them.
Yep. And
Holy
does
shit.
it from like the neck into like the ribs, so like they're awake while they're split. Yeah.
Like fucking what was that? What was that? Resident Evil, the one with the
Oh,
big
yeah,
ass
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
axe and
Yep.
shit. He was fucking slicing the shit out of
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
Shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a crazy story, man.
yeah.
Listen, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors. We got Deviant Clothing. Go to Deviant Clothing Official. Use our code Fuxwitit, FUXWITIT. Get 15% off all your clothing needs. They got hot ass shit. I'm actually wearing one of the shirts now. Your thing isn't delivered. He hit me up.
No, it is delivered.
Yeah, it's delivered. Oh, you
Yeah,
got it?
yeah, I got it. Oh yeah, I meant to tell you, it's fucking crazy. So I ordered 2 hoodies. Well, I ordered actually a hoodie and a windbreaker jacket.
Okay.
So the hoodie is nice. I like the hoodie. I like the color. You know what I'm saying? I like the joint. I didn't throw it on yet, but it's a nice feel and all that.
Yeah,
I'll
it's not.
bring it
It's
in.
still. It's a little hot right now. For
Yeah,
hoodie.
yeah, exactly. So I didn't do that. But the windbreaker, it sort of surprised me because I didn't realize it was a windbreaker when I ordered it.
Oh, okay.
So
you
when
thought
I-
it was just a jacket.
I thought it was a jacket.
Listen,
So when I
I
got
will
it,
say this though: when it's raining,
listen.
I have one and I love it.
So listen, right? So I got it. I opened the package. I said, "Yo, this is a real windbreaker." And I'm actually looking at it, and I'm like, "Yo, this is thin as shit.
Remember
Like
that
it's
shit?
like it's a
Yeah.
real windbreaker. It's swishing and all that." And I'm like, "Yo, when the fuck am I going to wear this? Like, you know the conditions for me to have to wear this, like, cause it's thin,
Yeah.
but it's
Still
windbreaker and
windbreaker
all
material.
that. So I'm like, like I don't know. Don't you know the very next day it fucking rained and it was hot outside, and I
Yeah.
said, "Dog, it's a perfect time to wear it.
Yes,
It's
it
hot.
is.
It's long sleeve. I mean, it's not heavy. It's really just a covering for your shirt
Yeah.
that you're holding and
Yeah.
that you're wearing." I said, "That you're holding."
But you still look fly.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. I like it. So
Yeah.
it looked nice and
That's
shit.
why I keep mine in my car in case that happens, or if there's ever a time where it's like a little too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just throw that on. That's all you need.
Damn, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do. Keep
Like
it
when-
right in my car.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah.
I got the demon one. Which one did you get?
I got the one that's camo like that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't think it has that logo. I didn't.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't.
the demon logo. That's
yeah,
what I have on mine.
Yeah, I didn't pick anything with that logo
shit.
on purpose.
But yeah, we highly we highly recommend it. Obviously, we both like their shit. We're not just promoting it because they pay us tons of money.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we also give a shout out to our other sponsor, Rob Allen from Coatesville BBQ. Go to Instagram at CV Barbecue Co. You can hit him up there or on his Facebook. Yet again, Rob Allen, hit him up. He's doing catering and everything like that. And yeah, he's a great fucking cook. Everything he does, he still to this day has made the best fettuccine alfredo I've ever had, and that's a barbecue guy. Guy's fucking talented.
I like the dry rub. I really do. I didn't think I would like the dry rub.
Oh yeah,
that much because I like sauce, but I do like his wings and shit.
Here's
like
what
that.
I will say, and he might get mad, but he doesn't actually listen to these. I actually know. So when he started doing the dry rub on the end where it's all covered in it and you bite in, it's kind of sweet and smoky. It's good, but I don't really like. I liked them before, so I was like, "Yo, can I get it without the rub?" I found out that when he actually originally smokes them, he already has the rub on them.
Oh,
and then it gets all inside and everything, and then now he's adding the extra.
Oh,
but it's crazy how much it changed. But he was using like an apple smoke back then, so I was fucking banging. Okay. But even now with the rub, I like the rub as it is. It's just I like them the other way, and I was like, "Yo, I like your raw wings." He was like, "Secret is." Bitches is on there.
He said
already.
Bitches
I was
is
like,
on there already.
damn.
Yeah, see, there you go. Insider.
Yeah.
So yeah, check it out. So
great food, seriously.
Yeah, it really is. Anything else? Nothing else? Nothing you want to add to this or anything?
Oh yeah, respect the chicken.
All right, that's it. All right, so yeah, respect the chicken. I'd like to thank all of y'all, of course, out there for allowing me to be your great, wonderful leader. Thank you for tuning in and listening and watching. The people who watch, people who listen. Like to give a shout out to Fuzz. Fuzz didn't do shit today.
Nope.
Like, I mean,
I set up
nothing.
I did all my normal shit. It's my house, all that shit. I did all the lights and all this shit. I do all this, but
not even.
I didn't really do shit here.
I'll thank him for his 0.5% of effort that he put in today. Normally he does like 3% of the work.
I'm definitely the funniest one today.
He did like 0.5.
Hands down.
I mean, that's fine. That's cool. I feel like though you did a better job last week. I really liked your outline in your iPad.
I'm just like my iPad.
No, it's not even. Listen, I didn't even miss my iPad until last week when you were working yours, and I'm like, damn.
Yeah, it has uses.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it does. I like mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I got to get one because I want to do more like this, and I want to be more prepared. So yeah, once again, thank my minion Fuzz out here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Respect the chicken, and as always, suck my dick, bitches.